Plus, we got fuel left. Not an awful lot, but if we burn somewhere here, we should be pushing. Nope, we're not pushing out. We're the wrong side of there. So we should be sort of burning retrograde, but also sort of burning in a radial. Whoa. What's that? Oh, we've got another encounter with the moon. How far away is that one, by the way? A long way away. But the gravitational force, look at what it does with the gravity assist of the moon. As we come around here, no influence, and as we come to here, we start then getting pulled faster by the moon, which has pushed which would have pushed it out. But anyway, we carry on. Let's move a little bit more retrograde-y. .45 is sort of perfect, I think. A little lower. Don't want to skip out. There we go. So we're lowering our apparatus, which means we're lowering our overall speed. Which means we can afford to come into it a little bit more shallow if we need to. We won't have the overall speed, so the atmosphere will have enough time to drag us in. That's a little shallow though. A little steep, I mean. Oh, no. Go that way. Lower. There we go. Nearly out of gas. Any second now this will just stop moving. There he goes. And we'll turn properly like that. We'll make sure that we've got everything we can. Temperature and atmospheric scans are done, and we'll make sure collect all data. Nothing to collect. All done. Stadium was really messed up. So now that'll blow that. That'll leave us just the heat shield and the rest of there with the parachutes and what's left of our batteries, the science experiments and the power and the fuel, which is all gone, will be gone. Hold on, what happened? I pressed space and nothing happened. Got electrical charge. Why am I struggling? I think I was in the middle of doing something. So we got all this lovely data, which is good. Right. These are all gone, so that's good. Right. So now I can stage. If that goes, we'll turn retrograde. Turn off the SAS. We'll keep an eye on there. How high are we up? Still quite high, so let's go into hibernation again. And we'll walk to here. It is just a formality now. It really is. And then we'll walk to here. And then we'll walk to here. And then we'll walk to here. Okay, that's perfectly far enough. Right. Let's get you out of hibernation. Ooh, SAS on, so we can get you onto retrograde. There we are. We're on retrograde. Right, we got drogue chutes. We got more than half of our total electricity. We're coming in at a really nice angle, not too much speed. We're going to enjoy our re-entry, and even if we hit mountains, we've got enough parachutes to stop us. We're not going to crash. This is a formality. F5 for safety. We're at 65, we're in the atmosphere, we're beginning to heat up. If I take us off that should bounce us around the retrograde naturally and use up even less electricity. I didn't put any kind of antenna on here at all. It's just the Probodobidine's inbuilt antenna that's got us all the way to the moon and back. Something's getting really hot. Why is that getting so hot? We got a heat shield. 65%, that is hotter than I'd like it to be. Why? We got a heat shield. 66%. 67%. This shouldn't be getting hot. Heat shield. The ablator is going down. 67. It's coming down. It's coming down. The speed is dropping. We're gonna be fine. Gonna be fine. A little panic there. Did you notice the panic? It wasn't panic. It was concern. We're fine. 65. Getting cooler. We're cooling off. We're ready to think about the drogue chutes. Just make sure they are the drogue chutes. Yes, they are. They're the main chutes. Yes. We've got plenty of electricity. We're going to have plenty of signal strength. Probably going to end up plopping it in the water, maybe. Ooh, there we go. The periapsis is now under the surface of Kerbin, which means we are definitely not skipping out the atmosphere. Currently at pretty much at our apoapsis, so we're just behind our apoapsis, or just in front of it, or behind it, or either way, we've gone past it, and it's dropping fast, and we're dropping pretty quick too. Still at 40,000 meters, so it's a nice shallow deorbit. Speed is bleeding off, not massively quick because we're still in a very, very thin atmosphere at the moment, and as that does thicken up as we lose altitude, then we will be slowing down faster and faster and faster. Still going 1700 meters per second. but that is dropping about 10 meters per second at the moment, and that speed drop is increasing. The speed drop is increasing. Yes. So 33,000 meters, just might make landfall actually. Not sure where is that Kerbin over. Kerbal Space Center over there. It is actually, I think. We're not gonna quite make landfall because we're losing momentum all the time, and then when we deploy the chutes, we will lose them even faster. 25,000 meters up. Drogue chutes can go anytime we're ready. Don't need to worry about the heat anymore. I think we'll let the drogue. We'll definitely drop it in the water, so we'll let the drogue chutes go now. Loads of electrical charge. I don't know what I was worried about. Why I panicked about having to get solar panels and then forgetting to put them on. And I think I'm comfortable to speed up time now. Slow it down, we'll let the chutes go. And the good thing about landing in the water is we've done the water, or most of the science from the water anyway, so I'm not feeling bad about not having any science on me. Would have been nice to have hit a biome to get a bit of temperature or atmospheric, but no big deal. Drogue chute's fully open now. Main chute's still got another 1,000 meters to go. The ablator didn't use up a great deal. So we're now travelling down at 3 meters per second. This is going to take a while, even at the fastest speed. 800 meters down. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm trying to think how much science we're going to gain from that. I'm going to say plenty. And a contract completed. And lots of money from that. I mean, we're already, for money we've been given, gone out to 198. We were about 20 odd thousand when we took off. Maybe 30,000, something like that. Enough to do one more of these missions, basically. So if it didn't work, we were on last chance saloon. 300 meters up. Yeah, and we may have had a bit of trouble actually continuing. Apologies for that. That's my Fitbit trying to tell me time to go to bed. $70 meters up. 30 meters up. 15 meters up. It's going to be such a nice gentle landing. Look at that. Beautiful. And instantly we have now been explored the moon. We've returned from a trip to the moon. Loads of money. And world's first. We come home from a flyby of the moon. No science that we can do, so we'll recover that vessel and find out how much science we've got. 369.5 science earned, taking us to 438. That I am very, very, very happy with. All these sciences that we've earned, which is awesome. A 75 in material study while spaced near the moon, 75 in one shot. That is brilliant. Parts, we got 5,500 back from that. And with the contracts and stuff has put us up to a massive over 500,000. Let's see what those contracts were. This world first. Gather scientific data from the moon. Explore the moon contract. This one was completing it. So that's 162 in total, plus 15 science. Brilliant. Explore the moon. So that's 57,000 that. So loads and loads and loads and loads. Let's have a look at some of the other contracts we got now. Now. Explore Kerbal. Rendezvous 2 vessels. That's an interesting one. We'll take that one. Position a satellite in polar orbit of Kerbal. It's a good amount of money, and we can do that. That's a little bit harder than an equatorial orbit, but we can do that one. Landed at Kerbal. That's money for nothing. Still not going to do the observational surveys. Temperature survey of the moon. I mean, money's not terrible. Or maybe we'll do them one time. But to be able to do these surveys, you go to the moon, then you got to really position yourself in 4 different places at different altitudes. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's difficult, and the money is good, but it's just there are easier things to do for similar money. At splashdown, that's more difficult because you got to go and land in the water. More hassle than it's worth. Tourist flights. So what do they want to do? Want to orbit around Kerbal and orbit around Kerbal. We can do orbits. We can stick them on the same craft and cost us about the money that we're getting from one of them. Do we want to orbit Kerbal again? I mean, I kind of want to take some of my Kerbal around just to gain the experience so they can get better at what they do. So I could build a bus to take like 4 people around, and this would pay for it. We'll do that because that sounds fun. And that's it. I don't think anything else really excites me enough to want to do them. Science. I can get my launch clamps. And we're going to complete this side of the tree. It does give us a few other aerodynamic parts. So we'll take that anyway. Next thing would be, what do we want next? Docking ports. Hitchhiker. Capacity 4 Kerbals. What is the size? That's a Rockermax size though, isn't it? Still, it's possible. Advanced inline stabilizer, lander cans, an RCS. Legs for landings. We're not quite ready to do landing on them yet. Further aerodynamic parts we're not going to worry about. Protective fairings. They could be quite useful, and better radial decouplers. Fuel ducts. Now that means you can really do some real interesting asparagus staging. That's got to be a must, isn't it, for this level as your first one. Smaller engines. Now that's very interesting because the smaller engines will allow me then to make really small satellites. So we're going to grab that one for definite. Bigger engines. Now I'm going to grab those because they will allow me to do. Although I haven't got big fuel tanks, have I? Where's the big fuel tanks? Wow, we need. That's really the kind of size tank. Although I think we have got bigger fuel tanks. Well, those things have. Well, you know, that's not it. Oh yeah, they are. We have got those fuel tanks. So bigger engine. Possibly. What do we want to... Hitchhiker was... So we get one more. Can't get two. So, well, docking ports. Hitchhiker cans. Don't think I need RCS or lander cans yet. Don't need legs yet. I don't need space plane things. Fairings or big engines. I'm gonna have a think, and in the next episode we will explore that, and then think about whether we're gonna go to get some tourists up into space to get our Kerbal up into space to get a bit more experience into orbit, and do some EVAs and stuff, upgrade the buildings to be able to do that. Or are we going to start thinking about getting our guys to the moon? Or the satellite contract. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.